Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Josh here, Oreo Express. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're all having a wild day today. A wild day. It's Monday. Sometimes it's hard to get through Mondays. I think Mondays are my favorite days because there's just you never get a break and the time goes by, but there's so much content flying through the weekend and through all our other stuff that it's just I wouldn't say you got to work less, but there's so much to do. Fridays usually, believe it or not, in this industry sometimes sucks, but hope you're all having a good Monday. It is Monday, March 31st. I'm not sure if you know what that is. It's another Democrat holiday, guys. It's another day. They got all these months and everything else for your sexuality and what you do in the bedroom and your mental illness. Today is another one of those. Maybe this will help you. And then we'll talk about this a little later. Let's put this up over here. It is Trans Day of Visibility, guys. It is Trans Day of Visibility today. And I'll tell you what else it is that's not getting much attention um, here in a little while. I'll tell you what else it is. I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Robert Benji, what's up? Microtaz, working and waiting. Hello, Microtaz. Hope you're having a good day at work. Let's see. Susan's in the house. Microtaz says, don't forget to hit that like button. Karen from Kansas. Hello, Karen. Thank you for being here. Nola, I think, and some others are cruising around and popping into the chat. So we'll give it some time to get some folks in here. While we're doing that, please understand it helps when you hit that like button. So if you would, and you want to trigger a liberal today, which isn't hard to do, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for us. We appreciate you. Again, we can't do it without you. We are 100% viewer funded. We don't have big pharma to advertise. We're not going to say, get your jab, get your experimental jab. We're not going to do any of that. You know why? Because we are fueled by the American patriots, the American people. And again, I want to say thank you for doing all that. We can't, again, some of our links are down there at the bottom. Venmo at Oreo Josh, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024, and Cash App $Oreo Army. You guys have, man, how long? It's almost been 10 years doing this, guys. Well, we've done it longer than 10 years, but 10 years with your support here pretty soon. Man, how time flies. I remember about 10 years ago, we were going down to the Battle of Berkeley. Watching all these fascist Democrats out there wearing black bloc and assaulting people for wanting to exercise their First Amendment right. And nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. But we'll get into all that and more. Also, don't forget, head over to our website, theoreoexpress.com/shop. We want to remind you, especially right now, best time to get the Doge shirts. Democrats officially getting exposed. Let's pull this one up. Pull off that ad there. Come on. We'll pull that up when it loads. There'll be a lot of people on the website maybe today. Maybe they're checking. I haven't put that story up for the crazy professor on the website yet. We will. Deb V jumped in here. Hello, Deb V. Thank you for joining us. But there you go. There's the Women's Relax t-shirt. And again, it says Democrats officially getting exposed. Also, we have this one over here I like. I'm going to be wearing this tank top here now that it's summertime, and it's the Gulf of America. And it's got our great president on there. So that'll be a tank top you'll see me wearing here at one of the events very soon. So let's get started. Let's see, what do we have to kick off the show today? Some good news, some positive stuff that wasn't covered mainly by mainstream media because it was Trump and Elon that made it happen. If you guys remember, we had some astronauts that were stuck in on the space station. And Elon told Biden, yeah, we can go up and get them down. You just give us the go. And they didn't want to do it because, for one, they didn't want to give Elon any political points, knowing that he's pro-America, anti-communism. And so they didn't want to give him any accolades for that. But take a listen to this.
Took notice of it.
Take a listen to these folks.
What would you like to say to President Trump and Elon Musk?
I respect you. I trust you. You've given me no reason not to trust you, either one of them. What they say, I can't say what they say. I haven't lived that. But I have no reason not to believe anything they say because they've earned my trust. And for that, I am grateful that our national leaders actually are coming in and taking part in our human spaceflight program, which we see is hugely important global significance, and they take an active role. And based on the past and what we see now, with them doing that, it's refreshing. Not just refreshing, it's empowering. It's strengthening for our nation. I think it's a good thing for our nation when the national leaders, especially something that's high visibility, are involved in the process. And I'm grateful for that.
And, I'm just glad that they're involved and they take notice. And, our situation, I think I've mentioned before, maybe wasn't the perfect situation, but allowed a lot of people, including the president and Elon, to look at what's going on the International Space Station, take it very seriously, and understand that our involvement as a country, as a spacefaring nation, is really important throughout the world. And it sets an example, and it shows, our ability to be able to do the hard things, put people in space, operate in space, work in space, and then bring us back. It's important, and I appreciate that them and many, many, many more people took notice of.
I think it's just great that they are back down, man. That was a long time. What was it supposed to be, like 8 or 9 days? Good that they're home safe. Good that mission went off without a hitch, man. That's good to see. That's good to see, and I think you guys think the same there. We got it. One more busted, and another Democrat busted. This one was West Fargo. It says, thanks to X users, the clip went viral ahead of the arrest. At approximately 1:57 p.m. Saturday, March 29th, the West Fargo Police Department was called to the parking lot at Costco at 750 23rd Avenue East for reports of vandalism involving a Tesla vehicle, the West Fargo Police Department said in a statement. Upon arrival, officers discovered a Tesla had been keyed and a suspect had fled the scene. After further investigation, the suspect's vehicle was identified utilizing a nearby business and Tesla vehicle cameras. The suspect was later located and admitted to the vandalism. Ryan Lee Williams, come on down. Another triggered libtard. Ryan Lee Williams, 25-year-old male from Fargo, North Dakota, was charged with felony criminal mischief. Charges have been forwarded to the Cass County State's Attorney Office. Again, and we know you guys, we know all these people, especially if it's your local state. You're not going to let this fall on deaf ears. They're going to be severely prosecuted because that's what the Patriots demand. Take a look at this. You don't realize how much damage that causes, and thousands of dollars. And not only that, again, your face will be out there. We've been talking about a lot about what Democrats are doing. I shared this over the weekend. We didn't cover it in the last show because we had a lot of stuff on the last show. But the GOP headquarters in Albuquerque, New Mexico, was torched. The FBI and the ATF are investigating, and trust me, we've seen what's gone on. If you look at the front of the building here, you can see the Trump signs up here. They have 3 Trump signs, and you can see they had their displays of shirts and racks there in the background. Again, this is no. People say, I can't believe Democrats are doing this. Democrats have done this forever. They did the same thing with BLM when they were rioting, looting and murdering. Try to get looting and murdering together. It's loitering, by the way. And nobody did anything. You ask those people outside of Tesla who George Floyd is, the guy that overdosed on fentanyl, versus David Dorn, a former police chief that was murdered in the BLM riots. They wouldn't know who David Dorn is. Legacy Media wouldn't tell you who David Dorn is. We covered it. It's why we're on the air still, is because we cover the truth and what really goes on, the real autopsy reports and things of that nature. And it's just, they've been doing, Democrats, this is their negotiation ways. And again, unfortunately, Patriots didn't stand up enough during the BLM times, and a lot of people caved, a lot of coward Republicans. That's why many cities, Oakland defunded, LA, they all called for defunding of the police, and their crime has skyrocketed, so much so when In-N-Out Burger left Oakland, California, some of the citizens and business owners say they're going to stop paying taxes now. Well, I'm telling you, it's pretty simple. You want more police. Good police. There is bad police, but you want more police, and you want to get those incidences taken care of. KLM 79, what's up? Look at that. Everybody in here, except Blues Dude. Aloha. I was going to say everybody in here chatting's a member. Uh-oh. Threw Blues Dude under the bus. No. We've been covering the lies of the left and what legacy media, the failing legacy media, has been saying. And they're going to cut Social Security. They're going to cut they're going to cut Medicaid. They're not cutting any benefits. Elon Musk has made that clear. Donald Trump has made that clear. But this is how they get people angry. This is how they get people angry. This is how they get senior citizens, like we seen yesterday at the Tesla, many of them senior citizens, majority, and we showed you other ones from across the country. Again, it's a different breed. You still have your far left extremists out there, your feminazis, your open borders advocates, your Hamas terrorizing supporters. But listen to Nancy Pelosi. They're rewording it a little. It says Donald Trump and Republicans said they'd lower costs, then move to slash Medicaid and sabotage Social Security and give tax breaks to billionaires. So it says slash now. I want you to think of these words. Not cut Medicaid, not cut your funding, because again, they have to get a little bit on point and not lie too much, and sabotage Social Security. So what they're calling sabotaging Social Security doesn't mean those people that are eligible for benefits have any issues. It means those that are committing fraud. 40% of the phone calls going to the Social Security Administration were fraud calls. People trying to change your bank account over to their bank so they could collect your Social Security without your knowledge. A lot of fraud going on, a lot of cost, a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of departments that were bloated. Yes, cut the waste. Don't care what you are, a black, non-binary, trans, albino, whatever you are, or a veteran. If we got to cut costs, we got to cut costs. I know Democrats are, save the veteran. You've never cared about the veterans in your life. You've spit on them. You've disgraced them. Please spare me. It says raising prices are crushing Americans, and Republicans couldn't care less. It's not just bad policy. It's a betrayal of working families. Really? Well, Biden's egg prices are down. And every time we go to every time that that Trump enacts something, there's a liberal activist judge who stops it. All these cuts will help inflation over the long run. It's your tax dollars paying for it. I don't need to pay for all these employees. I think the IRS could cut 80%. and I would be happy. There's a lot of things that could be automated when it comes to taxpayer. I want them out in the field doing private sector jobs. That's why unions are so scared. These people are all protected by unions, and unions are losing plenty of employees right now. And Trump will win at the end. It's just unfortunate that it takes this long and we have activist judges that do this. Give me 1 second. Let's see what this was. Might be something we can bring up here. I wonder if we'll pull this up while we're talking about this really quick, and then we'll get to the day that Democrats want to erase females. That's today. Did you guys know that? Wow, when is this? I wish I would have seen that. December 10th. I don't know why it went to this one. Hold on. I want to pull up an article from the press. There we go. Take a look at that. It says Fresno State professor doles out extra credit for Tesla protest, calls for death of Trump and Musk. Another teacher at Fresno State has made inflammatory remarks about President Trump following a comment from 2017 calling for Trump to hang. There's got to be more than that to the story. Let me see something really quick. Wonder if there we go. Said a Fresno State lecturer is catching heat for public support for growing protest at Fresno's newly opened Tesla dealership and for public comments wishing death on President Donald Trump and Elon Musk. The woman, Catherine Shurek, is a lecturer in Fresno State's anthropology department within the College of Social Sciences. It says the big picture, Shurek circulated on X, video of Shurek circulated on X over the weekend where she was attending a protest at the Fresno Tesla dealership on Saturday. Shurek identified herself as an anthropologist and a professor in the video, saying she is trying to start a chapter of the NOW, National Organization for Women in Fresno. Shurek said in the video that she teaches an activist anthropology course and offers extra credits for her students to attend the protest. It says, along with the video, 2 social media posts that Shurek made also circulated on X. One was a photo of Trump laying in a casket with Melania Trump, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, George Bush, and Laura Bush standing behind the casket while smiling for a picture. I have a dream for this to happen much sooner rather than later. Hashtag felon Trump, traitor Trump, rapist Trump, die Trump, Trump dead. Shurek wrote on an Instagram post from January 11th. The post was still up as of Monday morning. The second was a post on Facebook where Shurek shared an image of a tombstone for Trump with the date of death reading "Now would be good." Shurek wrote on the post, and take Tesla and the rest of the Nazi Republican Party members with you too. All of her Facebook posts appeared to have been deleted as of Monday morning. And it says what they're saying. Fresno State issued the following statement on Monday condemning Shurek's post. While Fresno State firmly believes in the principles of free speech, we strongly condemn the aberrant social media posts and comments made by one of our part-time instructors. As these views were published by the employee as a private citizen, they do not represent our university in any way. Fresno State firmly denounces wishes of death against any elected official, particularly the President of the United States. These go against our core educational values and are not consistent with our principles of community. As Americans and educators, we pride ourselves on democratic dialogue, no words of derision and contempt about the most important political figure of our country. And a source shared a message from Fresno State President Saul Jimenez Sandoval on LinkedIn responding to a question about Shurek's post. Thank you. My team will see if posting has any connections to Fresno State or if it's a personal posting. If personal, we can let her know that this is not acceptable, but will not be able to enforce any of our principles. If it were LinkedIn, she is clearly associated with Fresno State and is representing the institution with her profile. Either way, we'll continue to communicate with her. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Fresno County Supervisor Gary Bredefield wrote, "These are the unhinged radicals teaching young kids at schools and universities across the country. They are hate-filled radical lunatics and have no business teaching anywhere." And it says, flashback, Fresno State has a history of professors making controversial, inflammatory remarks about Republicans. And we covered that stuff in 2017 and I think even 2016. But it says, in 2017, American history lecturer Lars Moschak called for Trump to be hanged to save democracy. It says Moschak was suspended by Fresno State for a semester after his comments. 1 year later, English professor Rhonda Gerard celebrated the death of former First Lady Barbara Bush, saying on Twitter at the time, "Happily dancing on the grave of someone I despise." Gerard also said Bush was an amazing racist who was raised a war criminal. Gerard was not suspended by the university for her comments, and both faculty members are still listed on the Fresno State's directory of staff. So again, exactly what we said. At least it's getting traction. It's up to the community to change this. It's up to a lot of people. It's up to some of those people that there's a lot of conservatives that actually do a lot of donating to Fresno State. And they need to step up. We have Trump in office right now. We are withholding funds from colleges that are supporting Hamas terrorism, where all these jihadists go around campus and they destroy the campus. They stop Jews from walking around the campus. They assault police. We were down there in UCLA when they were throwing explosives at police and everything else. The live stream's still up. Go look UCLA. But it's just absolutely infuriating. So we'll share this post from SJV Sun out on our website or out on our X page here shortly. Let's see. Again, Democrats Day today. Democrats Day. It's another make-believe holiday. And let's just look at those people who are trying to promote it. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff here in a minute. Oh, that was in the wrong spot. I'm just going to show you this video really quick. And this is sad, but it's happening more and more, especially with fentanyl. And just, again, we talk about people needing mental health. A lot of those people outside the Tesla dealerships. A lot of those people that are going to get Oreo and expose Oreo. And the person doing... the Nazi salute on the Democrat side yesterday. They need help. But there's also a big drug addiction crisis and alcohol addiction. Look at this video from Los Angeles. This is... The woman is asleep or passed out in her car. And will not wake up.
Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.
And I didn't add that music. That was just something we found when we were looking at what was going on. Oh, it's crazy. So what else do we got here? You want to know who invented Trans Day of Visibility? You want to know what Democrats cave down to and how they bark and clap like trained seals for the radical left, for the mentally ill, for those that are gender confused? Take a look at this.
Let's just say it did. I tried to come out to my parents when I was 8 years old, okay? And that was in 1907. Let's just say it didn't go well.
Totally. Totally
tried to
normal, I
come
guess.
out to my
And just in case you are wondering, guys, hashtag trans women are men. They are men. They have the DNA of a man. They can't do anything a woman can do. And it's highly disrespectful to the women in my life and the women that I respect that any man thinks they could be anything close to a woman. Again, no difference between blackface and women face. And that's what we're seeing. Congressman, let me see. This says Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, proudly serving California's 51st district. It's Transgender Day of Visibility, March 31st, 2025. Today, I'm proud to reintroduce my resolution to recognize Trans Day of Visibility. It's been a joy to watch my trans brother and gender non-conforming sibling live authentically and happily as themselves. I will always fight for a world in which every trans person has that right. Gender non-conforming sibling. So again, instead of taking what we need here and getting someone some mental health help, we're just going to push it. Hey, you got anorexia? Let me push my finger down your throat. It's what you're seeing here. And it's disgusting and it's sickening. And once again, we'll get into it more. That one didn't have nothing. I don't know what that one was. That one got there accidentally. Governor Kathy Hochul. And you know what's funny? They never talk about the trans terrorism or the trans violence or when a trans person shoots up something. And a lot of about 75, 80% of the school shootings and school threats that have been happening have been coming from trans, non-binary, non-gender conforming people. It's an epidemic because it's a mental health crisis. Listen to Governor Kathy Hochul. Trans rights are under attack. On Trans Day of Visibility, I want our transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming community to know New York has some of the strongest laws to protect you in the nation. We see you and we value, and we will never stop fighting for you. You know what's sad, though? They don't have strong laws to prevent these people that are mentally ill from attacking you. Just the truth. Migrant transgender woman charged with raping 14-year-old in New York bathroom. Now, you won't hear Governor Kathy Hochul talk about that one. Are you shocked? I'm not. I think it's disgusting that we don't talk about it. I think it's amazing that all they want to talk about is white conservatives, pretty much. Not the crazy white liberals we see firebombing. I mean, most of them. I mean, the craziest thing is white liberals are the ones destroying this country. White liberals. And my sister brought up something yesterday. So remember, if you watched yesterday, or was it yesterday or Saturday? If you watched Saturday at Tesla dealership, all those people said I chased somebody around and I walked across the street. It's all live, as always. And I asked a guy, I said, we can't hear you over there. And he lied and said he was a police officer, that he was working undercover. And I asked him if he was going to arrest me. And I knew he was impersonating an officer, which is against the law. We're going to talk about that at the end, because we're going to try to get down to the Fresno PD and file a complaint and get some body cam footage. Put that down. But you know what? All the guys, you know who went over there to save him when we were already at the police? 4 or 5 women. Not one man had the courage or the testosterone to step their fat ass off the sidewalk to even confront me or go protect. Again, it was these feminists that think they're men. I was like, you got to be kidding me. My sister brought that up today when I was on the way to the gym. And she goes, you know what? Because we were talking about the crazy that was recording for U-Spark. And I just started laughing because the only thing she noticed was the women are on this side and the men. And I said, that's just the disease. That's the liberalism disease. All they see is color, race, sex. They don't see anything else. And she goes, you know what else was funny? And I was like, what's that? when you were walking up and you were on the phone with 911, you were calling the police on that guy that was impersonating an officer, and you guys were walking towards the police. All the guys were over there chanting, bully, bully. And 4 or 5 women walked over there. All those guys chanting bully, that is the cowards. That is the disgust of America. They're not patriots. They're not even Americans. People from the 50s and 60s would roll in their grave, laugh at that trash. We know it. You know it. And I just thought that was just interesting because I didn't even think about that when before she told it to me. Governor J.B. Pritzker. There are trans Americans right now looking out at this world and wondering if anyone is going to stand up for them and their simple right to exist. Guess what? Women have felt that way for about 15 years. All the women's that have lost championship, all the women's that want privacy when they're changing, when they're 14 years old, they're going through puberty and they want privacy when they're in their locker room. That's who I'm standing up for. And again, I hope more people identify as an orthodontist for these men, these pedos, these groomers that are going into women's restroom, because that's exactly what they are. Get the help you need, get yourself fixed, and don't play the victim, because you're not. That's why I'm always going to be honest with you. Let's see what Governor Pritzker, he had a trans terrorist that was vandalizing a Tesla dealership that's looking for quite a long time in jail right now, up to 20 years. Listen.
Hi, I'm Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, and it is Trans Day of Visibility, and I want everybody to know that you're protected. We will stand up for you, and we need you to speak out and speak your truth. It's very important, and it will make a difference to a lot of young people and people who are a little bit afraid right now. So thank you very much for everything that you will do on this Trans Day of Visibility.
Oh, man, they're visible. They're visible. We see them all the time. We cover the crime. We cover everything. Look at this. It's a beautiful day to love trans people. This is from Senator Megan Hunt. Watch this. Says, respect my trans homie or I'm going to identify as an effing problem. You are the effing problem, retard. Anybody that thinks you're not. Again, the people that enable it, they have a psychological issue too. It's like the enablers for alcoholics or drug addicts. They get something out of this too that they're not getting emotionally, that they're not happy in their life. And again, we will stand, and anybody that knows this, we will stand for these women, real women, and we will continue to do that. And again, we elected Donald Trump to do that, and he has. There is 2 genders, and you cannot change them. When you can change your DNA, and scientists are working on it for all you freaks that want to pick your child. But nope, not going to happen anytime soon. So again, check this out.
To refer to transgender women and girls as men and boys. And what these the policies that are claiming that transgender women in sports are men are wrong. The president is lying when he says that there are men impersonating women and participating in women's sports. There are no examples of men impersonating women that I am aware of. And it is incorrect to refer to transgender women and girls as men and boys. And what these executive orders do, what these laws do, is open the door to sex-based police.
Really? I've watched a lot of men take championships, beat women by huge records. Beat a record that's been around for 20, 25 years. But again, what do I know? What does the UN know? You know, the United Nations, the people that Democrats worship. We must stay in the United Nations. Well, this is what the UN reports. Biological females have lost nearly 900 medals to trans athletes. This is a UN report. This was released October 23rd. The UN released the findings on Wednesday. That's 900 medals given to a man. that's pretending, that's impersonating a woman. How about these people? Just look at them. Look at them. This is some Freedom News TV. No hate, no fear. Trans kids are welcome here. This was near Manhattan.
No fear! Trans kids are welcome here! No hate! No fear! Welcome here! No hate! Trans kids, we resist!
Yeah, come this way, come this way, come this way.
Up, down, New York is approaching town. Get up, get down. New York is approaching town. Get up, get down. New York is approaching town. Get up, get down. New York is approaching town. Get up, get down. Transphobia got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Transphobia got to go. Transphobia got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Transphobia got to go.
For 1 second so we can let the banner be at the front and then file along behind it. Let's do it!
Many of these people are just outcasts that they couldn't fit in anywhere. They weren't normal to society, so this group accepts them for the illness they have, and that's why you're seeing most of this. Now, I usually say the quiet part out loud. You guys know it. What we don't know what happened. We don't know. Maybe it is vaccines. Maybe it is the chemicals they put somewhere. But a lot of these people do not look normal. I think you guys would agree. They don't act normal. When you look at people like Dylan Mulvaney or whatever, what 33 or 32-year-old person walks around acting like that? It's all an act, right? It's a way to make money for that person. And what do Democrats do? They put that person on a pedestal. Oh, look, this is a woman. No, that cut off your penis. You're just a man without a penis. Imagine that. That would suck. I don't know. But again, we're not doing anything to help these people out. Listen to this. This was Pudre Schools passes resolution for Trans Day of Visibility. This was shared by Libs of TikTok. It says the superintendent and DEI coordinator, we're getting rid of that DEI coordinator. You wait and see, all DEI gone. Sorry, Teacher Gan. And board members claim teachers should ask for pronouns, apologize for misgendering, promote males and girls sports. And one board member even claims trans joy is resistant.
Educational experiences.
Let's listen.
Day of Visibility is Delia Mahaney. Our Day of Visibility is Delia Mahaney, our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Coordinator.
I do not face the threats my trans and non-binary students, colleagues, and friends do, but I want them to know that I see them, I support them, and I will keep speaking up. Students feel supported when teachers ask for names and pronouns at the start of the school year or semester. Students feel supported when staff apologize and correct themselves when they make mistakes. Our transgender and gender diverse youth face enormous challenges, political, social, and personal. In PSD, it is our duty to ensure their educational experience is safe, inclusive, and affirming. To every trans child, you are not a problem to be solved. You are a culture add, a source of strength in our schools. We will continue working with you to build a district where you are valued and supported. You're here, you're queer, and it's time everyone get used to it. As author Julia Serrano reminds us, the most radical thing that any of us can do is stop projecting our beliefs about gender onto other people's behaviors and bodies.
The population of genderqueer, non-binary identifying students of PSD, these are our kids, of that same group. And again, I'm just speaking right now to the genderqueer and non-binary population of PSD students that seriously considered attempting suicide during the past 12 months, 24.9%, I'll round up to 25%. That's a quarter of that population of our own students. And ourselves, as you put eloquently, in a national moment where our transgender and non-binary gender-specific students are still suffering. And they're suffering on our watch. And with it, a renewed commitment from our district that transgender students exist. Regardless of one's worldviews or hateful rhetoric, these students exist. They exist amongst us. They share classrooms with us. They play sports with us. They may be your soccer teammate and have been for many, many years. I see you. And I accept you for exactly who you are.
You know what's amazing is, again, I talk about the original LGB movement, the one I grew up with in the 80s and the 90s. And I still have some friends, gay, lesbian. They are so far away from this trans movement. They don't need a parade. They don't need people to worship their flag at the city. They don't need any of that. They just want to live their life and not affect my life, just like I want to live my life and not affect theirs. They don't need policy changes to live a life if they're happy. Most of these people, probably 90% of these people, probably 95% of these people are extremely unhappy. That's why they want to make you unhappy. That's why they want you to worship them. The same thing with these furries that are going around Modesto, California, when they got to put a kitty litter box in like the junior high. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. But again, they didn't want equality. They wanted superiority and dominance. You know, there's no straight pride flag at the city of Fresno. Pride Flag Dyer didn't put a straight pride flag up. Because, again, we're just happy being us. Don't need anybody to know what I do in my bedroom. Don't want to brag about what I do in my bedroom. I think that's immoral. I think it's sickening, and I think it's wrong. But maybe I'm just a little old-fashioned. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure this school will be getting a letter from the Department of Education, the secretary. Oh, who remembers this? Transgender Day of Visibility. 6 innocent people murdered when a trans terrorist shot up their school in Nashville. Take a look really quick, and then this is, you won't see these pictures go across your screen anytime. Once they were gone because of who did the crime. We see that all the time. Unless it's somebody that supports a conservative or has one conservative view, then it stays in the media forever. But unfortunately for William Kinney, Evelyn Dykos, Haley Scruggs, Catherine Kuntz, Cynthia Peak, and Mike Hill, Legacy Media, all those people protesting Tesla, they want you to forget. They want you to forget. And it's sad. It really is. How about this one? Another man pretending to be a woman.
This video that are not only proud to be who they are. My name is Christina Winters, and I am a captain.
Not for long.
And I want you to know that you are seen, you are loved, you're appreciated. And I want you to know not to give up. I want you to notice all the people in this video that are not only proud to be who they are, but they celebrate it. Now, the current administration wants us to not be visible. They want us to be invisible. They want to remove us from society. They want to ensure that we are disenfranchised, that we no longer have a voice, we no longer have the rights to even enter any space that is safe. They want to remove us from our homes. They want to remove us from our jobs. And it is disheartening times right now. And I know how easy it is to want to give up. I know the struggle, but at least for today, I want everybody to celebrate who they are. Don't hide yourselves and be proud. Unknowingly so. I want you to post pictures. I want you to let everybody know your story. I want everybody to see who you are and for everybody to understand that we will not be erased. We are here and we're here to stay.
When are they going to start using the term disappeared like they do with the criminal illegal alien gang members that has came over and are getting deported? We're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. What's interesting is someone brought up, I was listening to a podcast and somebody, very successful person, brought up the fact that he wasn't allowed in the military because he has ADD. Not lying. I have ADD. A lot of people have ADD. I don't take medicine for it. Imagine that. You have ADD, successful business owner now making millions, but you couldn't get in there. But we got someone that's pretending to be the sex they're not, that wants taxpayers to fund their surgery to remove their penis. And military, come on in. Activist judges, yep, let's get some more. Line them up. Won't be going on for long. America's done with it. Again, equality, actual equality, love it. Love it. You live your life, I live mine. You fly your flags at your house, I'll fly my flags. I'm not crying to have a Trump flag at City Hall, a Republican flag at City Hall. I'm not doing any of that. I don't need you to worship me. Listen to what Nancy Mace said, basic biology 101. They hate Nancy Mace. She knows how to trigger.
Today is Trans Day of Visibility, and I am never going to let women's rights be erased over my cold, dead XX chromosome body.
Biology isn't a hate crime.
I'm not here to play nice when...
Remember when they always said, trust the science, wear a mask. If you get the vaccine, you can't contract or spread the virus. All lies.
Women's privacy is on the line. President Donald Trump gave a lifeline to female athletes. And now every girl knows her shot at a scholarship won't be stolen by some man in a miniskirt. I'll never stop fighting for you. Hold the line.
There you have it.
Hold the line, folks. It's crazy, man. We covered those volleyball and what was it, junior high school teams. I think some of them were soccer, where they got punished because they weren't gonna play a team that had men on it, which is an unfair advantage. Again, we are built differently. We can do different things. It's why men have always done heavy equipment work and everything else in the world. I mean, when I need to do brakes or a tire blows on my car, I'm not asking Rachel to go out there and do it. It's just, even though she can, but I think you guys get the picture. So, you know what's not being talked about today? And I wonder, it's almost like these trans people have kicked Hispanics to the curb, or at least, what do they call them? Latinx folks to the curb, because they should be worshiping the lie that they've promoted. Because today is Cesar Chavez Day. You don't hear anything about Cesar Chavez Day. Even though Cesar Chavez was against illegal aliens, he's been co-opted by the Democrat Party like he was some open borders advocate, which he wasn't. But it's Cesar Chavez Day, and all these people, again, we told you they were coming for every group. Told you, you'll be next. Your group will be next. Just like in Chicago, when all those black people went into the city council and they're like, man, we go over here to get help. We go over to here to get help. And there's all these illegals taking stuff that was intended for American citizens. Well, warned you. But again, oh, he's just racist. Crazy stuff, man. So some good things. Speaking about equality, let's listen to the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Listen to this.
It's a new memorandum that's coming out today. Pete Hegseth here. We're about to land in Washington, D.C. on our way back from Cancun, where we've been meeting with the troops, talking to allies and partners, reestablishing deterrence in the Indo-Pacific. It's Sunday, but of course we're still working. I want to show you one thing. It's a new memorandum that's coming out today on combat arms standards. You see, for far too long, we allowed standards to slip and different standards for men and women in combat arms, MOSs, and jobs. That's not acceptable. We need to have the same standard, male or female, in our combat roles to ensure our men and women who are under our leaders or in those formations have the best possible leaders and the highest possible standards that are not based at all on your sex, if you're a man or a woman. So I'm signing this memorandum today. The services will review, and soon we will have nothing but the highest and equal standards for men and women in combat.
I love equality, folks. This is what we were talking about. This went on through the actual leading up to the 2024 election. Kamala Harris said there is no different standards. These women aren't DEI. There was different standards, and that's going to be changing. But we proved that then. We showed you all the things, that how they had different scores, how if a woman did 10 pull-ups, she got 8 points. If a man did 10 pull-ups, he got like 4. Remember that? Yeah. Wokeness is dying. Wokeness is dying. Speaking of grifters, though, I do want to say this. We covered it a little bit when it happened. Ashley St. Clair, the one that seems to be having a baby by Elon Musk. She tried to be she was a right-wing influencer, and now is a little butthurt because she did everything in her power to get a hold of Elon Musk and wanted to have his baby, and says that she had his baby. And I just want to say this because she's kind of been quiet lately. And again, I don't care what you promote, right, left, center. If you're just a scumbag, you're just a scumbag. And this is what scumbags do, is try to take people down because they're a scorned woman. Yeah, well, get over it. Laura Loomer posted this. It says, gold digger, and I want you to wait until Elon's comment, and again, you'll see what a victim Ashley St. Clair is. Gold digger and professional gaslighter St. Clair Ashley was just caught on camera outside of her ritzy Manhattan condo, paid for by her sugar daddy, Elon Musk, selling her $100,000 Tesla. She said was gifted to her by Elon Musk during their romantic relationship. She said she's selling it to make up for the $100,000 in alleged cuts to her child support payment from Elon. Now, I want to tell you, most people in this room, most people probably raised a family of 4 on $100,000 or less a year. At least in my area, probably not in Democrat areas like San Francisco. $100,000 a year, you're sleeping in your car. You're not getting a normal shower each day. It's because of Democrat policies. We all know that. But here where I live in Fresno County, I live in Clovis, a little bit better, a lot better than Fresno, as you guys know. Just Google the crime statistics and the school ratings. $150,000 a year was really good. $200,000 a year, even better. If you have a husband and wife making $250,000 a year, you're buying boats. You got a nice house. It's probably paid off. I would say the houses in these neighborhoods go for $480,000 to $560,000 a year right now. So she had to sell to make up for the $100,000 in alleged cuts to her child. I wonder how much he's given her. Like pennies? We'll find out. It says she took a jab at Elon Musk, telling people to check the stock of Tesla, adding, "I'm not the only one cleaning up after Elon's messes." And it says here, as I reported, Ashley St. Clair hired an anti-Trump lawyer to sue Elon Musk. He was ordered by the court to take a paternity test. Listen to this.
I'm selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut that Elon made to our son's child support.
This is your typical fake conservative. This is exactly like the lady last night or on Saturday. I'm a feminist. This is what I notice here. So, man or woman, do a freaking job. Hire a babysitter and work, earn some money. Instead, you want to live off the man. Yeah, well, the welfare state in the United States has kind of created this. There's no accountability, but listen to the rest.
How do you think he did that?
That's a great question for him.
You feel like he was sort of like vindictive against you in some way?
Yeah, that's his modus operandi when women speak out.
When was the last time that you spoke to him or tried to speak to him?
February 13th.
But he's just not responding to
She was mad. It was February 13th and he wasn't coming over for Valentine's Day because he don't want me.
How would you characterize sort of the way that he's going about
You can check the stocks. I am. I'm not the only one
We'll
who's
get you
speaking
on
up about race messes.
We're not going to get you.
So Ashley St. Clair fits into the crowd outside of Tesla in reality. Like, so let's listen to what Elon Musk said, and it's actually in court records. He said, "I don't know if the child's mine or not, but I am not against finding out. No court order is needed. Despite not knowing for sure, I have given Ashley $2.5 million and I'm sending her $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year. But this gold digging douchebag, that's not enough. That's not enough. This is exactly what Democrats are. We need, you know what? This guy's created thousands of jobs. Let's tax him more. No, let's stop spending so much. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. This is, I wish, it's sad. It's sad. But 500,000. So $2.5 million. I guarantee that is 25 years salary for most people in this country, probably more than that. But if you took, let's see what the median income is for a family right now. Let's just see if she's just a grifting gold digger. Median income family, United States. The median family income in the United States for 2023 was 96. Wow, that's more than I thought. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, current population survey, social and economic supplement. These figures reflects real median family income adjusted for inflation and represents a 2% increase from the 2022 estimate of 94,000. This data pertains to family households, which are defined with households with two or more people related by birth, marriage, or adoption. So that's 25 years of the annual salary or the annual income. A lot of these families are two-income households. Crazy, huh? Crazy. What a fake, man. What a fake. Yeah, but again, living a miserable life. Upset. Why? Because she's not wanted by a man. Man doesn't want her. So her true colors are coming out. Let's see what else we got here. But it was interesting, $2.5 million and $500,000 a year. So she's making in 1 year on top of the $2.5 million, 5 times the median household income of a family. Check this out. This was Los Angeles. USC to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion as one of its values. Poor Gann, poor teacher Gann over there. I'm telling you, you're on the wrong side of history, and this is a celebration. We enjoy this. This, again, I know these people watching. I know there's some new viewers out there that are part of the far left, and I'm telling you, you probably had a hard night's sleep in the last couple nights. Go to mypillow.com. They have incredible deals right now, and you can use promo code for a substantial savings. That's mypillow.com, promo code Oreo to help you out. Peaceful night's sleep. Your neck won't bother you. You still look in the mirror and be disappointed, but Check this out, but that's good news. Good for USC, and we're seeing more and more colleges do that. We're going to skip that one. Check this out. So Elon Musk, we talked about this earlier, held an event in Wisconsin. We have an election tomorrow. Republicans have been behind the 8 ball on this one. They just came out in the last week. A lot of people have been warning about this. We talked about it about 6-8 weeks ago. Hey, this is a very important election in Wisconsin. Now they're getting to it. Hopefully it was enough. But they had one of the people
it's
like
mostly
that
weight.
we seen Saturday at the Tesla protest, and listen to what Elon says.
So the very simple, straightforward goal of the Doge team is to get rid of waste and fraud. It's mostly waste. It's or depending on how, I'd say it's probably 80% waste, 20% fraud, something like that. But it's $1 trillion, so that's still a lot. And it's gotta be. We got another Soros sleeper agent there.
Another Soros sleeper agent there. Another Soros sleeper agent there. And there was some other stuff that was interesting in this, and more things are going to come out. But listen to this.
It'll be okay.
2.1 million
I'd
non-citizens added under Biden to giving a Social Security number. These people are not legal American citizens. There's no reason for it, but I want to listen to this because we told you it was going on. We even there was some undercover video that we reported that we showed you that, hey, these people are admitting to getting Social Security numbers and getting benefits that they've never paid into. Illegal aliens. That's what they are. They're not migrants. Migrants come here legally. I know you folks know that, but some of those retards in the back don't yet.
To welcome my friend Antonio Gracias to the stage. I think so. Does it work? I can give you mine. Does it work? It'll be okay. I mean, Buzz Aldrin's still alive, and he went past the belts.
It worked. Is this working? Yeah, it's on now. Yeah.
There you go. So, Antonio, can you tell us what you? Antonio is helping out with the Social Security. So, just trying to review Social Security, where you may have heard that we found 20 million dead people marked as alive in the Social Security database. This is so crazy. And then you'll notice there's a strange trend here where how many Social Security numbers were issued. Do you want to?
Yeah, so let me tell you what happened here. We started at the top of the system.
You want to talk about a lot of it?
We started at the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was. And there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste. And so that came up with a big list of stuff they're working on. You've heard some of that already, but this is what jumped out at us. When we saw these numbers, we were like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, this literally blew us away. Like, we went there to find fraud, and we found this by accident. And this isn't political, by the way. My parents are immigrants. Yeah, this country's been great to us. My brother and sister all born in Spain. I'm pro-legal immigration. This is not political. This is not political. This is about America and the future of America. And there are a lot of good people in the system that pointed us in this direction. I want to honor them right now, that work in the government today, who took risks to show us these numbers and tell us what's going on. Yeah. So I want to stop for a minute. I want to honor those people today. Very good people. Very good people. I have been from D.C. to Social Security offices to the border to track this down, and very good people have helped us along the way. I want to thank them.
Yeah.
This number, what this is when you come in the country, if you're illegal, there's a couple ways to come in. You come in through a port of entry, and you can tell them you're afraid, and they'll give you an asylum case. You'll get an interview, then you get in. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just go to the border. Literally, this happened. I talked to Border Patrol myself. Elon was there too. I went to Laredo, and I went to Bronzeville. Elon went to Eagle Pass. You walk up to a Border Patrol officer, and you tell them you want to come in. They have a couple of choices. They could charge you with a misdemeanor or a felony under 1325, or they can make it an administrative offense, like a parking ticket, basically. They were told to do that, make it an administrative offense under the last administration. And then you go walk across the border. They do what's called a release your own recognizance, and they give you an NTA, a notice to appear, which is to appear to judge. The wait times on judges are like average 6 years. Look at Grok, you'll see it on immigration judges. There's only 700 of them. This is 5.5 million people, okay? So what happens then? Once you're in the country and you got asylum through one of these pathways, and we map the whole thing out, you can apply for a work document. You file a 765, it's the work form. You get this form called the 766, that's the authorization, and then Social Security Administration automatically sends you in the mail your Social Security number. No interview, no ID.
This is worth just reiterating. It's not people sometimes think that under the Biden administration that he was simply asleep at the switch. He wasn't asleep. No. They weren't asleep at the switch. It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States and disenfranchise the American people and make it a permanent, deep blue, one-party state from which there would be no escape.
Look, if I hadn't seen this myself.
Now, we told you this was going on. We even covered some people, some reporters, independent journalists that were out there talking to whistleblowers, that they wanted to put them on the dole as they came in. They were giving them disability, Social Security. And I can't wait until more is uncovered here. But again, these people out in front of Tesla, they think this is okay. That's okay. That's okay. They deserve the money. They broke into our country. There was all kind of things. I encourage you all to go read or go listen to that. And it is on X. Go look up Elon Musk on X, and you can watch the entire event. And again, if you're in Wisconsin, get out and vote tomorrow. Come on, Wisconsin. If you know anybody in Wisconsin, pick up the phone tonight, call them, ensure that somebody is over there and that they know, and they're contacting people too. If we have to win. We have to win. Who remembers Secretary of State Shenna Bellows of Maine? Listen to this. So she just announced, I think on the 26th, that she will be running for governor of Maine. Listen to this. I love it. Like they think this is where the Democrat Party has a 27% approval. The loud, outrageous people that are outside of Tesla doesn't represent the Democrat Party from the most part. That's why people are leaving. That's why we showed you the video earlier. That's why we had the conversation with the guy outside the Tesla dealership that said he voted for Kamala Harris and he was there to buy a Tesla now. They don't realize it's backfiring. They have no plan, no proof of plan. They have nothing. They lied to us. They raised our grocery prices up to 36%, our gas prices up to 31%, all these things over the last 4 years. And this one actually took Trump off the ballot. She thought, you know what? There's 330,000 Republicans in Maine. I'm going to take away their voice. And she got her ass handed to her. Take a listen to this.
Hello. I'm Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, Maine's first female and 50th Secretary of State.
Oh, she had to put first female, like that matters. Are you qualified or not?
What's particularly concerning about the president's executive order is that it completely disregards our fundamental checks and balances laid out in the Constitution. Executive orders do not have the force of law. Only Congress and the state legislatures can implement election law. That's because the traditional balance of power with the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the courts separates those constitutional duties.
Keep reading, sweetie. Keep reading.
So that's first and foremost, it is an unlawful, unconstitutional executive order because the president does not control election.
Well, she's absolutely wrong there. The president does, the federal government does have say over federal elections. And if they demand ID and they demand proof, guess what? That's federally. If statewide in Maine, you want all these illegals coming and voting for your school board and your little, I don't know, city council, that's state right, still unconstitutional. They do it in San Francisco, and they tried to do it in New York. And what happened? The highest court in New York turned them down. That was just 2 weeks ago.
The states do under our Constitution. Second, the executive order requires states to turn over vast amounts of information from their Bureau of Motor Vehicles and elections. And if states refuse to do that, the executive order directs the Department of Justice to target states and to cut off states' funding for law enforcement. That's the opposite of election integrity. Everyone agrees that only citizens should be voting in our federal election.
Notice she didn't say elections. She said only in our federal elections. That's because they want illegals. They want that population to increase of illegals so the Democrats get higher representation there.
That is the law. And election officials all across this country work hard to protect election integrity. What the president's executive order and the SAVE Act require is that every citizen in this country prove their citizenship when they go before an election official to register to vote or update their voter registration.
That sounds racist. That sounds racist. You got to do it when you get an ID. You got to do it when you go to Social Security. Well, up until the Biden administration, as we just learned. So you have to prove you're a citizen. You mean like Mexico? Man, that's crazy. Mexico's so racist.
To prove your citizenship, you either need a passport, which only about half the country has, or you need a certified birth certificate. If you're a married woman or a married and divorced woman, that birth certificate may not have the same name that you use today.
Look at her reading, like, how can we make this? How can we make this evil against women? Women are no longer going to be able to vote. This is what the Trump administration wants to do.
So then you're required to have the chain of custody of your name to prove to the election official you are who you say you are. So married women will have to bring not only a certified birth certificate, but also their marriage and divorce.
What's funny is all they have to do is walk in. There's a real ID. I have one. Rachel has one. Real ID. Proves you're a citizen. But again, they're trying to scare you. But again, this is the same person who what? Let's listen.
Power as this unelected non-lawyer Secretary of State.
Non-elected. Listen.
Well, Shenna Bellows is the Maine Secretary of State. She is unelected. She's not a lawyer, but all of a sudden she's become a constitutional scholar, and she thinks that she has the unilateral power as this unelected non-lawyer Secretary of State to take away from 360,000 Maine Republican voters their right to choose their candidates for the president of the United States. She is clearly misreading Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. The only way you can remove a candidate under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is to bring federal criminal charges for insurrection or rebellion, get a federal grand jury to indict, a federal jury to find them.
So needless to say, maybe they put a woman in a man's job because all she's done is fail. For all my feminists out there. Let's move on a little bit. I can't believe it's already been an hour and 14 minutes. We got to move along quick. Hey, and don't forget, guys, if you guys want to help out, we would appreciate it. We're trying to skip a show tomorrow. And again, as you guys know, we get paid for doing the shows, the views and everything. It's not much, but it helps out. And we would like to go file a complaint with Fresno PD about the officer not doing anything about the leftist protester who was impersonating a police officer, which is against the law. It's on video. And also, we're going to request some body cam footage while we're down there and for you guys to see. So if you guys want to help out with tomorrow, there'll probably only be one show. But if you want to help out, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you want to use Zelle, you can run over to our website, theoreoexpress.com. And on that website, there is a donate now button with Zelle and all the other links. We appreciate it. We want to get that done because I was like, I'm not even going to go down there and do it. But we got to hold them accountable. This has been happening since the tower days when they would say, oh, if knew who was calling when there was an incident and would have us meet us in an alley because they didn't want the radical leftists in Fresno to cause a riot or a major disturbance. So we would have to walk into an alley to meet with police. And those days are going to be over here pretty soon. We're going to take care of that, and that'll be done with your help. So thank you so much. Old Uncle Bill just put in, I believe, the OreoExpress.com that has those links. Check this out. With Trump's immigration crackdown, San Diego's migrant shelter system is shutting its doors. How many times were we at those migrant shelters? We were live. We have probably 100 hours out in San Diego. This is great. And some other activists out there. Thank you to everybody who exposed them, whether it was Jewish Family Services, Catholic Charities, all those HIAS, all those groups, all the people that were literally taking your FEMA money and spending it on people who broke into our country, giving them plane flights. We went to San Diego Airport. We caught the NGOs there getting them plane flights. We went everywhere, even when they were using a closed down school in San Diego for the processing to give them their flights, to say, where do you want to go? Where do we want to put you today? We need more people here that don't speak English. We're going to send you over to here, sending tens of thousands to New York, Chicago, everywhere else. And it says 2 major local migrant shelter agencies gave notice that they will be laying off employees by the end of the month. This was a Breitbart article. It says San Diego's county system of migrant shelters is shutting down thanks to President Donald Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration at the border, which has halted the flow of migrants around the world via Central America. Are you kidding me? Because they said it was taking an act of Congress. They said our laws were broken. No, our laws weren't enacted. We weren't upholding our laws. This was all on purpose. The 15, 20 million illegals that came in, they will be deported. They are being deported. And if President Trump needs a hand, he knows who to call on. It says the county's 2 major migrant shelters agencies gave notice that they will be laying off employees by the end of next month. Catholic Charities in San Diego will let go of 73 employees at its 2 shelters, one in San Diego County and the other in Imperial County. Jewish Family Services will do the same with about 115 employees at its San Diego Rapid Response Network migrant shelter, once held as a national model for welcoming a large number of people. They were doing human trafficking, child trafficking. We went out there. Again, that's where Ginger worked. Remember the first time we went out there just to get some information, and they did the same thing that G.I. Joe did, thought they can record me and they're going to find something. And then we went back. We held rallies out there. A lot of local activists went out there. Once again, exposed. And that's what we will continue to do. It says south of the border, a well-known shelter in Tijuana has served migrants for nearly 40 years is also being forced to cut back services, but for different reasons. Casa del Migrante, which has been housing recent deportees lately, is now struggling to keep up with the expenses after Trump suddenly suspended U.S. foreign aid products. You're right. Shut it down. You came in here illegally. You do not need to be on the government taxes. We have homeless here. We have, again, today is like a mentally illness day for a lot of them. And instead of getting the mental institutions back up and running so we can put these people where they belong, Democrats are promoting it. No more foreign aid for people that were breaking our laws. We will and always have been a very generous nation. And that's fine when we're doing things that help out. When we're sending $10 million to go help somebody, but 40% of that $4 million goes for the payroll of that company and to the CEO and everything else and all the lavish lifestyles. No. We have $10 million for starving children somewhere. I would say 90 to 95% should go to the starving children. Bottom line. I know Democrats disagree, but that's okay. But that's great. It says, and again, migrant crossings have plummeted. We know that. Let's see what else we got here. But here we go. So we covered this early last week, or maybe the week before. Trump's team issued that, hey, we're going to take away the temporary protection status of 350,000 Venezuelans. And the left went crazy. And then they're like, oh, wait a second. This was done in October. Biden said he wasn't going to extend this, that it was only temporary protection status, and that the Biden administration has said, oh, okay. Well, it was okay when the Biden administration said that, but now that the Trump administration has said that, once again, an activist judge that we will beat, hopefully impeach. It says Venezuelan immigrants asked judge to maintain their protection in U.S. Nearly 350,000 people could soon face deportation after the Trump administration moved to end temporary protective status, or TPS, from immigrants from that country. And again, Joe Biden already said this. Go back. It's his press secretary, his people. So again, but Trump's a racist. How about this one? ICE Boston has arrested another illegal alien in Massachusetts with aggravated child rape. You won't hear any of those liberals talk about this. They don't care. That poor child. Or what the guy say? Well, people get raped by American citizens too. That is their mentality. That was the guy with the terrible mouth daughter that was out there. We'll do a special on them as well. It said, in this case, an Ecuadorian national who was indicted by the Plymouth County Superior Court for aggravated rape of a child with a 10-year age difference and released from local custody. That's what Democrats are pushing for. They didn't call ICE. They didn't say, hey, we got this guy doing very bad crimes. We're going to release him today at 3 o'clock. If you guys could pick him up and detain him, put him on an immigration hold. Release him back out in the street. It's all right. That's all right. I hope you use El Salvador's prison for some of these traitors. Check this out. Earlier this month, Roger Antonio Polo de la Cruz was arrested for double attempted second-degree murder. He has an immigration hold. He is accused of shooting his female roommate with her male friend. Both victims said nothing led up to the shooting, and both denied being in a relationship with de la Cruz. Another attempted murder. What's this one? Brown County, Wisconsin. Last week, Diego Enriquez Reyes Ramirez was arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior in public. Another pervert. You'd think you'd want these perverts out. He has an immigration hold and a probation violation hold. So he's already broke the crime in the United States where he's on probation, and Democrat policies want to keep him here. Check this out. This was awesome. So we had a judge issue an order that we couldn't send violent gang criminals out to El Salvador. Last night, in a joint military operation, 17 extremely dangerous criminals linked to Tren de Aragua and MS-13 were sent. Gotta love it. But the judge said this, the judge said that. We, the people, are the government. We'll decide what goes on. And guys, don't forget here really quick. Let me throw this up here. Rumble Premium, guys. This sponsorship is from Rumble. one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for a small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human rights to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we are just happy you are here to watch us on Rumble. And again, thank you guys for watching us. We appreciate it. Again, two of the only free speech, three, you got Truth, you got X, and you got Rumble. Getter censors. I know people are shocked about that, but Getter censors and so some others. What else do we got here before we go? How about this? Let's just...
President Trump has a clear message for those that are in our country illegally. Leave now. If you don't, we will find you and we will deport you. You will never return. For too long, weak politicians left our borders wide open. They flooded our communities with drugs, human trafficking, and violent criminals. They put American lives at risk. Well, those days are over. America's borders are closed to lawbreakers. President Trump has
close
a clear message for those that are in our country.
Joe Biden and the Democrats did a good job having all these criminals come in. But there's also some on our side that are American citizens that are just as bad as traitors as Democrats. And this is one of them. Former federal officer has been sentenced for smuggling aliens and receiving bribes from the cartel. This is one of those that did it. Hold on, pull this up. It says Laredo, Texas, a former Customs and Border Protection officer has been sentenced to a federal prison in two separate cases for allowing aliens and cocaine across the border, announced U.S. Attorney Nicholas Ganji. Emmanuel Isaac Saldone, 37, Laredo, pleaded guilty March 11, 2024 for his role illegally smuggling illegal aliens into the United States through the Lincoln and Juarez port of entry in Laredo. He also admitted to bribery and attempted importation of cocaine for accepting money to allow what he thought was cocaine to cross from the United States into Mexico. U.S. District Judge Diana Saldana has now imprisoned him for a total of 117 months. It's not even 10 years in prison for both cases, and immediately followed by 4 years of supervised release. He was also ordered to pay money judgment of $17,980. Again, when you're, this goes for police officers, this goes with teachers. When you're entrusted with the taxpayer dollars to do a job and you go against that, same thing. An officer rapes a woman. An officer is caught planting something on somebody. They should get like 4 times the penalty of what that person, just like these women that lie. We see it all the time, and men that lie. Oh, this person did this person. We've seen so many Jussie Smollett hoaxes from women. And then when it gets uncovered, oh, they were lying. Well, they need to do the time that man would have done if that would have been the circumstance. And so again, we don't want these traitors here. And once again, guys, we will probably be not on in the morning. If you guys want to help out, again, we want to go to the Fresno Police Department. We want to file a complaint on a certain sergeant that after I called 911 on Saturday because somebody was impersonating an officer, wouldn't even listen to me, didn't care about the 911 call, didn't do anything, said that he would not do anything because he didn't want to incite the far left agitators, the activists, the extremists in front of the Lexus dealership because they were protesting Lexus on Saturday. And so that we're going to do that and then try to get some body cam footage. I'm sure they won't release it all, but we'll see what they keep out. And we will stay on because there is some good Fresno cops out there, guys, and there's some that tell me, I'm friends with some of them, and they talk about how the orders, especially under Paco, I talked to them a lot more, how it was like, oh, don't upset the left. They didn't care. It was completely biased, and that seems under the new police chief, Mindy Casto, it seems like we're playing the same game. So if we want to play that game, we will be at every protest, and we will be making sure they do their job, or at least filming it and filing complaints each and every time, guys, because again, our tax dollars go to that. They should be doing their job with no bias. I don't care if it was a Trump supporter that was pretending to be a cop, go over there, question him, do an investigation. And if it leads to an arrest and prosecution, so be it. But guys, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you all so much for everything. If you do want to help us out, we are 100% viewer funded. We appreciate you. We can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And we also have a Zelle link you can go to on our website. That is at theoreoexpress.com. Theoreoexpress.com. Head over to a little bit down the homepage and it says donate now. We also have some great merchandise on there. And as always, mypillow.com. Go over there, check it out. Use promo code Oreo. Support American-made product, America First, Patriot Company, and our platform all at once. God bless you all. We will see you soon, and thank you so much for tuning in. Good night now.